Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So, Screams Out, which means I finally watched it and I'm here to talk about what I thought about the movie. I'm trying to review the whole thing with spoilers. Beware, spoilers in this video because I want to talk about everything. So I've seen the movie 3 times by now, and let me tell you, the first time I watched it, I went out of the cinema without knowing what I thought about the movie. I didn't know if I loved it or if I didn't like it because there were so many things that I didn't like at first. For some reason, I changed my mind completely. But there were also so many things that I did love and I was like so obsessed with that I had mixed feelings about it. But right now, as of now, I absolutely adore the movie more than anything. And it's true that even though I didn't have a clear opinion, I knew I wanted to watch it again. And I wanted to watch it again. So I made a list of things I want to talk about. So I don't ramble because I tried to film this video before and I talked about everything, but that was the longest video ever. Also, this review is coming from somebody who's a huge fan of the entire franchise. So keep that in mind because I'm not just a casual watcher watching this. I absolutely adore these movies and they mean so much to me. So let's get to it. First thing I want to talk about is the opening scene. This is always a big deal in these movies because it's the first thing you see, and by now the first thing has always been somebody dying, and each movie does it in a different way. I know people don't like some of the other opening kills, but I absolutely adore all of them. Like, they're one of my favorite parts of the movies, and I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't like it the first time I watched it, because I didn't care about Tara. I love Jenna Ortega, but the character in itself, I didn't know her. It was the first time we were meeting her, and that scene didn't give me much about her. I didn't really care if she lived or died, if I'm being honest. So that's the negative I found in it. And also, it was like the same as the original. It was like a tribute, you know, to the first one, but it wasn't like it. Like, it was like it. It didn't bring anything new. I felt like it was unoriginal. I don't know. I didn't love it. Which doesn't mean it's bad. Like, there are so many things that I like about it, like this stab trivia, the fact that she checks it online, like she now has that advantage, and also Ghostface being casual, talking on the phone. That was so cool because we got to see another side of the Ghostface voice that we don't get to see. And then also the fact that she survives. We already knew she would survive. I thought she would be the final girl, and she kind of is at the end. So I really like that she survives because it's breaking the rules of the movies. You know, you start watching the movie, you're like, ah, she's dying, and then she doesn't. So that's cool. I really like the way they went there. Overall, I like the scene, but again, it's not my favorite. Then with the characters. Characters are the reason why you care about the movie. At the beginning, when we were seeing these characters, I was so afraid I was not gonna care about them. I was like, okay, you have to like them. You have to like them. For some reason, I was trying to convince myself to like them, and I was thinking, oh my, I'm not liking them. Like, the first time I saw them, I was already like, I'm not liking them. Oh my god, this is horrible. I'm not gonna care. But the movie goes on and these characters are amazing. All of them. I love them. So we have Wes. I already knew I was gonna love Wes because of the laminate, but Wes is so cute. I love his relationship with Judy. Let's talk about that later. Wes was a great character the time he was there. I really liked him. Then we have Mindy, who's just like, it's friendly. She knows the rules, but she's so cool. I love her. And then Chad. It was a surprise for me. I didn't know I was gonna love Chad. He was so funny. I loved his scenes and I was so scared by the end. And I'm so happy Chad and Mindy lived and went okay, which is the cutest kiss story. Does that at the end of the first movie. And then Richie. Oh god, love Chuck Wade. And that character is amazing. So funny. And yes, very suspicious the entire time, but still he's amazing. One of my favorite parts of the movie. Then we have Liv and Amber, two characters I really didn't like that much. It's not that I hated them. Well, Amber a little bit because she got to it, so. But Liv and her were two characters that were just there. I'll talk about it more when we get to the third act because I feel like I have more things to say about them there, but for the rest of the movie I didn't care, even though I liked Liv more than I did Amber. And then we have the new two protagonists, Tara and Sam. Everybody loves Tara. For me, she's okay. Her scenes are really good. The scene in the hospital, she's being chased with a wheelchair, but I didn't like her as I thought I would because I was very excited to see Jenna Ortega in this movie, but I think her performance is amazing, but the character in itself, it's something I just don't care about. And then Sam, that was one of my favorite things about the movie. That is the Billy thing. Oh god. I knew Billy was coming back. Well, I didn't know it. I thought he could, and I was hoping he would. I have in my list of predictions Billy coming back as a flashback, and this wasn't a flashback, but I feel like it was better because the fact that she's hallucinating him, she's imagine it's in her head, and that's crazy for her character because you don't know if she actually could switch. Like, she's actually seeing this man, and this man is not just going, hey girl, how are you? He's actually telling her to kill people. The first time he comes on screen, I haven't screamed louder in a movie theater in my life. Now with the legacy cast, my babies. I feel like the one that got the best, the best treatment in the movie was Dewey. I think this was his best movie, even though he's always amazing. But this movie, he was there helping. His scenes, every scene he was in, it was so invested. Like, the time he appeared in the movie, I felt like the movie got better. I don't know. I love him. And when Dewey decides to come back, and they're like at the door of Mindy's house, and all of a sudden they like hear din 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 dun, dun, and they turn around and he's there. I sang my heart out in the cinema that tune. Then Gail and Sydney come back, but I feel like they're almost not in the movie. Like, they appear so little, but their scenes are amazing. Like, I'm so grateful they are in it, as little as they are. It's one of my favorite things about the movie. I'm very happy they got to have scenes together. Really sad we didn't get the trio together because Dewey died before that happened. Still, we got very cute scenes. Dewey on the phone with Sydney, which people don't like Scream 3. I absolutely adore Scream 3. So when Dewey asks about Mark, oh my god. I know it could be anybody. It could be somebody called Mark. And we're like, oh, Kincaid. But I think it is Kincaid. And I'm so happy. And I hope, I don't think so because Patrick didn't want to come back. But I wish and hope that if they make a sixth one, he's there. Then the scene with Dewey and Gail. The first time I watched it, I was tearing up, but I was okay. I was just like, oh, babies, are they gonna get put together? But the second time and third time I've seen the movie, the tears. Oh my god, my babies, that was their last interaction, my babies. So yeah, I think that's what I have to say about the legacy cast. We could have seen more of Gail and Sydney, but we didn't. But what we got was quality. I liked what we got. Let's talk about the deaths in this movie. I love the deaths in this movie. I have read online, oh my god, the greatest kills in the franchise. And then I saw somebody go, oh, they're not. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe they suck. And then I watched a movie and I was like, have you seen the same movie? They're amazing! So disgusting too. I couldn't look. The West one, couldn't look. I saw what was happening and I was like, stop. I put my hand in the middle of the screen and I didn't look. Oh my god. Oh wait, I'm rumbling again. Okay, let's start with the first kill. Vince. That was amazing. Red right hand, sounded in the back. Again, me singing. Yes, it was a concert. I loved it. We missed the shot of Ghostface going like this, like in the shadow, which was a great shot and that would have made the scene even better. But the scene is so good. Like, it's a song. It's just a song. Like, the scene in itself, it's good. Beans dies. Yes. Okay. But the song just makes the kill even better. He stops the music and when Ghostface stabs him, it plays again. It's one of my favorite kills in the franchise just because of the song. Because I was hoping they would include these songs that have been played in the other movies, but like I didn't know if they would. And it transported me right to the other movies. It made me so happy. Then one of the saddest, because every death was so sad in this movie, Judy and Wes. Thank God they didn't see each other dead, because that would have been heartbreaking. But they both die. Judy dies trying to save Wes. So sad, it's in broad daylight. And they had that cute scene at the beginning, which is with the knife. Why did they have to be so cute right before they killed them? I don't understand. It made me love these characters to kill them. Because I didn't care about Judy that much until that scene. And that I loved her. All of a sudden I was like, I love Judy. And then Wes. Again, like I said before, disgusting. Had to cover the screen. Like, the neck, the veins, I can't. So, seeing that happen, right, very disgusting. So, I give it to them because that was crazy. And the next one was... I have never cried so much with a death in a movie, ever. Not even with Randy. And I love Randy. Like, the fact that, like, you're watching it. He gets stabbed and you're like, okay. But then he gets stabbed again and then he does that thing. Oh my god, that also disgusting. What a death. It was so sad when he checks the phone and it's Gail. Oh my god. You see that Gail is calling him, so sad. Why am I crying? So, that was horrible. And then we see him lying there. No. the whole scene happens. He survives. Everybody's okay. They're leaving. Why come back? I know you have to shoot him in the head. You could have done that from the elevator. You had to come so close. And I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. One of them had to die, and I knew it was gonna be Dewey. But I had hopes he wouldn't. And then we have our almost dead there, Chad. Oh God, I thought he was gonna die. And I was hurting so bad because I was like, I love him now. Don't kill him. Like, it was happening. He was dying. He was stabbed 100 times. And by the end, when he comes back, I know I've already talked about this, but I'm so happy he survived. And then this takes us to the third act. And here we're in a party, which is for Wes. And that's so cute because, like, Wes screamed. And that's why they did it. So I thought that was beautiful. But at the same time, I was like, excuse me, you're throwing a party? Didn't Mindy warn you about this? And Richie, Sam, and Tara end up there too. We had all been suspecting Richie during the entire movie. But at that point, when he didn't want to go to the house, I was like, he's not the killer. I, at that moment, stopped suspecting him. So from the beginning of the movie till there, I suspected Richie. Even before the movie, I had him in my suspect list. But I stopped. I was like, oh, it's not him. So we get to the party, things happen. Liv starts becoming one of the suspects. She was one of my suspects too. I thought it would be 3 killers, and it would be Richie, Wes, and Liv before watching the movie. Then I started watching the movie and I was like, not Wes at all. But at that point I was like, oh God, they're making it too obvious, but is it her? Then Mindy gets attacked, which is one of my favorite attacks because I was so happy because I could do that. I'm such a freaky fan, but I was at the cinema and Mindy was seeing Randy, and Randy was going, Jamie, look behind you, and Mindy was going, no, you look behind you, and I was like, no, you look behind you. I love doing that. I was like, oh, I feel complete as a human. And then she turns around and she sees him. That's when it all goes crazy because Liv says it's not her, and Amber is like, I know. So, that's where I had the problem the first time I watched the movie, because I lost track of what was going on. I don't know if I got too excited, but that scene was such a blur for me, because all of a sudden, Amber was shooting people, and I didn't know how many times she shot people. It was once. But in my brain, it was so many times, and I was like, who's dead? I was like, is Mindy dead? Liv is dead, but is Mindy dead too? Is Tara dead? I don't see her. Where is she? I was so confused. There were so many things happening for me. It was like, whoa. And since I hadn't suspected Amber in the entire movie, that was such a shock for me. But at the same time, it wasn't like a shock like, oh my God, it's her. It was like, oh. I didn't care because for some reason, I didn't notice her much in the movie the first time I watched. So I was very indifferent about her being a killer, and I was very excited to see if there was another killer, and who was it going to be? Was it going to be Richie? Was it not going to be Richie? At that point, I wasn't suspecting him that much, and I was like, it can't be Richie. It has to be Tara. When I discovered that Tara was alive, because for a second she was dead for me. So like, they all go around. Cindy and Gail go to the house. Poor babies having to relive that whole thing, and the music. Oh my God. Sydney, poor baby's going around with her gun. I was so scared for her. I was like, who is gonna hurt this baby? Don't touch her. They didn't touch her. It was great. Well, I mean, they did stop her, but she's fine. That's like breakfast for her. She finds Richie. At that moment, too, you're like, it's not Richie. Even though the first time I watched the movie, again, that's all like a blur. Like, I remember coming out of the theater, talking with my mother, because my mother came with me the first time I watched. She was like, oh my God, the last part of the movie was too slow. And I was like, slow? Happened too fast. I don't remember anything. It just happened in a second. So I don't remember much, but I do remember thinking it's not Richie, it's Tara. And sometimes finds Tara, and I was like, oh, no, what is going to happen here? So I thought Tara was the killer. And when Richie stabs Sam, the shock that I loved having, and for a second, I remember saying out loud, did Sam stab him? And I love him as a killer. I really like him because he's very funny. And so we get to the part where the first time I watched it, it happened so fast, but the next times I watched it, I've tried to understand why people are saying it's slow, because there's more people that are saying that the movie loses its I'm gonna say tempo right now. Can't come up with the word. It's slower there. And I realized, I think it's because there's no action during the explaining only. The shots are you, me, you again, me. And it's like that so much, and nothing's happening. There's just 3 people stabbed, like, listening to two people go, yeah, we are gonna kill you. I think that's why some people think, well, maybe it's other things. That's my theory. But for me, it's not like that. 3 times I've seen it, it goes pretty fast. So I feel like I would have needed even more time to see that ending and see them be the killers and stuff. And so we get Richie and Sam go one way, and Sydney, Gail, and Amber the other. Amber is crazy. That girl, oh my god, she's nuts. When she was glad that she was gonna kill Gail because she had killed Dewey. So that's why when I said I hate her, she's so mean. So I was so happy when Gail got to kill her. And I love the way she died, also on fire. Even though I think that's why the way she died in another movie she did, but great, it was fun. I really thought it was original, the way she was burning up, and they were like, that's the torch, or something like that. This is something like that. I loved it. And then we get to Richie and Sam, which was one of my favorite parts about the entire movie. And that is when Sam is about to get killed by Richie. She's about to kill her. She's like, I have one new rule for you. It's like, and what would that be? She sees Billy on the mirror. She sees the weapon and she's like, and she goes crazy. I love that part. Like, that's one of my favorite things, and that's why I cannot dislike her character, because that scene, the way she stabs him repeatedly, the shot of her with the blood, I love that. And I feel like there's that little bit of Billy we see there in her. And then I'll talk about the motives a little. They're not my favorite motives for these Scream movies. I feel like the other killers had better motives, even though the way they critique in this one toxic fandoms, that's great. I really like that, because it's true. Fandoms can get very toxic, and I don't understand why, because that's why he said it. It's about love. So it's like, why so much hate? That's nice, but their motive, I mean, I didn't really care about it. It was okay. Didn't destroy the movie for me. I really liked it either way. I was hoping they would have themselves a connection to the past too. They didn't. I mean, come on, every movie there's somebody connected to Sydney's past. Poor girl. So it's okay that this one didn't have that. So yeah, overall, I thought it was an amazing movie. I love it so much. It did such a great job to continue the franchise, because it could have gone horribly. They could have tried to do it and started it and finished it that way. Like, you know, no more movies after that. But I feel like this leaves it open for another one, because it was so good. Like, it feels just like the first one. And this nostalgia, it's so for the fans. Like, I was so happy while watching it, because every few minutes I had something to be so happy and excited about. Feeling that nostalgia and remembering the other movies and all the music and all the Easter eggs and everything that was happening. I absolutely adored it, and it makes me happy to watch this one. It truly does. I feel like this one is the one that if I'm sad one day, I'm gonna watch, because I know it's gonna make me feel like, you know, a Scream hug. I don't know. It felt like that. Like a hug. Like a love letter, like a lot of people are saying. A love letter to the fans and to the Scream movies and to Wes. It's just, oof, it's amazing. It's everything I could have wished for. I'm so happy this exists, and I can't wait for the next one. Now I want a next one. There has to be one. Like, a lot of people are going to watch this movie right now to the cinema. It is a big possibility. If they have the right ideas, I know they could do it, because they did it with this movie. These directors know what they're doing, and they have my trust. Also, if there's a 6th one, Hayden could come back. I mean, you've probably seen it too, but in that scene, when Richie's watching YouTube, there's this recommended list, and Kirby's alive. She's there. She's a Woodsboro survivor, and they're interviewing her, which means she's alive. That's crazy for me. She survived. We were right this whole time. They were trying to say, no, she's not alive. No way. Stop trying to make that happen. It's real. It's canon. It's life. It's a fact. The cast for the next one, is already crazy. These characters come back. Chad and Mindy. Sydney and Gail, I need them. I love Gail and I love Sydney. And then we have Kirby. That's gonna be crazy. Oh, and Sam. Sam with Billy in her head. Please bring Billy back in her head. Also, I wish we meet. They didn't talk about this. Vince is Stu's nephew, which means Stu had a brother or a sister. and they're alive. They could also come back in the next one to bring this stew feeling, because we love stew, so that would be so cool. And then petition from here, if we could get somebody related to Mikhail Thierry, please. So I think that was it. I don't think I left anything out. I might have. If I do and I remember later, I'll write it in the comments. So if you've seen the movie, which I hope you have, because this is the end of the video and I've just talked about everything. Just let me know in the comments what you thought about this movie, if you liked it as much as me, or if you didn't and why you didn't. Let me know everything, all your opinions on everything. Just rant about it all you want, because I want to read all the opinions I can about the movie. So you're very welcome to comment below all your opinions. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.
Do it now. Do it now. Do it now.